Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bonsai's Forever. Hey, so tonight, it is actually pretty late right now. It's after 9:30. I just don't feel like going to bed, so I'm gonna work on a tree. If you haven't noticed, well, if you could notice, there you go, check that out. Did some work on the bench today. I got some tiles from the store that were on sale, so I put those out here yesterday and put up a little shelf over here, which I think is pretty cool. I'm really digging this. I've got my oil for my tools. I've got my rooting hormone, some alcohol, the other stuff over here, and I also made this. Today. It's a holder for all my tools. Put some little feet on the bottom. Did some clear coat on it, and yeah, so really excited about that too. Because the other piece that I had over there, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. So figured I'd do something else. So that's something else I did today. So pretty excited about that. Really excited about this. It actually makes the bench about an inch bigger this way. So I like that. And I think maybe in one of my other videos I might have showed you this, but I put up another shelf back here. I notched it out for the 2x4s. I'm really liking it. Putting my rocks and stuff on there. So anyway, without any other hesitations, let's get to work on this tree here. So this is a Sissa japonica that I have worked on in previous videos. I did a video recently, I think it was, that I had wired this, and it was all nice and flat, and it looked really good. And I think that, like, this branch in particular, I think it moved back this direction because I'm pretty sure that I had it over here like this, and it looked really nice, and it just, everything went back. So I don't know if that means that these can't be wired. I wouldn't say that is a thing yet, because I've not really wired these out before, so we'll find out. But one thing I do want to do is I want to make sure that I get any trimming done that I need to do. A couple of branches have broken due to moving stuff around in the greenhouse probably, but I also want to repot this. I found this pot with another one of my trees in it. Didn't like that tree in it. Repotted it, so I think this tree would look really nice in this pot. And yes, obviously this pot is massive for this tiny little tree, but I want this tree to grow out into this pot over the course of time. So I just want to get it in there, you know, and get it going, because these trees grow their roots really rapidly, and it'll fill this pot up pretty quick. This pot's probably full of roots, and then once it's in this pot, it'll almost be like it's still in this pot, except the pot's shallower, so it'll have plenty of room to grow and get big. That is what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and trim off these branches, or just pull them off because they're completely broken. And I'm looking to see if I want to try and wire this again, or if I just want to do some directional pruning currently to fix some of the issues that this tree is showing, or if I just want to repot it and then go from there. Lots of questions. So I think I'm gonna take the dead branches off really quick, because that's really gonna bother me. So I'm gonna just take those off, and then I'm gonna repot it, and we'll see how it looks in new pot. It is currently flowering. I don't know if it was flowering last time I showed it, but it's got some really cool flowers. Let me show you. These flowers are really cool. I like them. Cute little pink flowers. Kind of can't see it with the table. There you go. And it's got flowers all over it. Some of them are already past, and there's quite a few little buds all over it. This branch, so it's gonna flower back out really nicely. Maybe by repotting this, it's gonna have some flowers drop off, but I'm not really concerned about that. These trees flower consistently throughout the summer into the fall, so yeah, I'll be able to see plenty of flowers with it once it recovers from the repot. All right, so of course take out some of the weeds. I'm going to save the moss. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of this off. So I am going to reuse the moss for the new pot. I'm going to probably reuse the rocks as well. Of course, there's going to be ants and everything still. So in my greenhouse, I think it was about a week or so ago, I can't remember exactly, but I was doing some moving around in there, and I noticed that there was a bunch of ants, and so I lifted up one of the boards that cover the table out there, and the 2x12 that's out there, it had like burrows inside of it, so the ants were like living inside of the bench. So I just kept wondering why there was so many ants all the time, and yep, it's because they're living in the bench out there. So did as much as I could without having any ant killer to really take care of it. But I think it helped a little bit, but I think they're coming back. So I'm going to have to do some more drastic measures out there. Wow, that's kind of cool. The moss is growing up on the rock. I think that's pretty cool. I really like nature and how it just kind of does what it does, you know? Alright, so that's that. And then these pieces here, these are actually new trees of this tree here. So I'm going to take it out of the pot, clean off the soil, and collect those. Right, so I'm going to move the turntable. And I think this should just kind of dump out of this pot. I can't remember if I repotted this last year, or if I repotted it the year before into this larger pot. So of this particular species of Sissa, this is my oldest of this particular species. So I found there's 3 different subspecies of Sissa. And I should have wrote down their scientific names. I did not, so I don't remember all the scientific names. But according to my plant app that I've got, this one is, they call it a Sissa japonica, but I think they're all Sissa japonica something else. So the ones with the longer leaves that you've seen me work on before, those are also the Sissa japonica. So yeah, one of these days I'm going to have to do some more research on the difference, or the different names of them. So I know the difference is one is this one. It's got variegated leaves, which this one, it doesn't look that variegated, but you can see like the yellow around the outside edge of the leaf. And then the other one, it looks almost exactly like this, except it's not variegated. And then you got the one with the longer leaves, like the other one that I've showed you that I have. So I have only got 2 of the species out of the 3. So I think it'd be really cool to get one that doesn't have the not the one that has the non-variegated leaves. Hopefully I can talk to where you guys can understand me. Alright, I don't know if I need to take all of the soil out of here. I'm kind of just trying to see what the root structure looks like. Make sure I don't want to take some of the larger roots out of the middle here. Also, this soil it's actually really decent soil. It hasn't broken down much at all. So, all right, so now I'm going to take out the sucker trees, and I'm going to cut them off to where they have roots still attached to them, so that I can just grow them right away. Let's see if I can get in here and see what I'm doing. There we go. See, like that. So that's just a really good start to a new tree. Because I mean, look at all the roots on there already. I don't have to root this and do anything crazy to it. It's practically ready to go. That's one thing I really do like about these trees. Actually, is they grow like this, and also that's one thing that I really don't like about these trees, because they grow like this. So it's convenient when I want more trees, but it's inconvenient because if you don't want them growing like that, then you have to take those off actually pretty regularly. They'll grow shoots like this. So if you don't want those, basically you can just break them off the root. But like this one, see, I want this root on here, so I'm going to just break these off. They're small still. I'm going to put them in the compost. These ones as well, I'm just going to take these off. Actually, this one is far enough down that I could just take it off of this piece of root. Actually, this is like... oh well, yeah. So this one actually... it wasn't even attached really anymore. So they'll just do that. They'll just grow new trees. So it is kind of cool, but it is kind of annoying. So anyway, I'm gonna grab a piece of screen. Kind of wondering if the screen from the other pot will just work in here as well. I think so. I think I might do that. I am going to go wash this off because it's got a lot of like mud on it, so I'll be back. Alright, so got the screen taken care of, and on this setup I think I'm just going to leave the screen in the bottom. I'm not going to tie it down or anything like that. I'm kind of wondering if I want to cut it smaller. I think I'm going to keep this for the other pot. It just fits in there right. I'm just going to cut a new piece for this tree here. If I haven't told you guys before what I use for a screen for my pots, it's actually animal resistant or claw resistant screen for your house. Got it at one of the big box stores. It's really not that expensive. It works really well because I mean it's practically impossible to rip. I've tried ripping a larger piece. But yeah, I used it for a enclosure for a monitor lizard that I used to have, and I still have a ton of it left. So I'm gonna put some of the gravel in the bottom here. Just gonna put a little bit across the bottom in that section there. Alright, and then we're gonna just put the tree right in here on top of it. See what that looks like. So that's gonna be quite a bit taller. Yeah, it's going to be quite a bit taller than I want. So I'm going to go ahead and do some root pruning on this. We'll put this soil out of the way. I really like this table. It makes it so much easier to clean. So that's awesome. I'm so glad that I did that. All right, so I'm going to take here. Now I could potentially just push this down in there and keep all the roots. I don't think I need to keep that many roots. I really don't think I need to keep that many roots. So I'm going to cut the ends off of all the large roots, the thicker ends that are sticking down. I'll take all of those off. And because all these roots, they went out to the edge of the pot and then just go kind of straight down. So I might just take all the ends where they go straight down and just cut those off. Because, like I said, these things grow roots really quickly, and it's got a bunch of roots. So cutting these off isn't going to hurt the tree, for one, and I don't think it's going to slow down the growth very much, if any. And I'm not really in a hurry to grow this tree out as it is. So and clipping back some of these roots is going to give it more ramification on the roots anyway, so it will be helpful. So one of the things is also with this, what I'm seeing is the roots in the middle here are pretty stout roots. And they're growing almost straight down right here. And I'm wondering if I could actually bring this group of roots up. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let's see if I can bring you down closer. All right, so this group of roots right here, I think I can bring this up into this section here. And then there's one really large root right in the middle. I'm trying to see where it's coming from. It's actually coming from the back side of that root that I was just showing you. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Go ahead and take that off all the way. Just the back part, not that whole root I was showing you. Yeah, and then I think I can flatten. All right, I'm gonna take some of this off here. I'm gonna take off the large piece on the end. That's a good amount of roots, but as you can see, this whole tree has just a ton of roots on it. So I don't want to make like an open space where there isn't surface root type of roots. So I want to try and keep as much of that as I can, because it's got a pretty decent radial root base on it so far. Take the rest of this off. Take this one out all the way. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to trim these just back a little bit. And I've seen, and I've actually done massive root reductions on these trees, and they survive just fine. I'm cutting these roots off over the soil bucket so that I don't make a mess. Probably just cut this out anyway. Okay, so I just cut off all the ends of the roots. So now it's a lot shorter, but as you can see, there's still a ton of feeder roots on this. And I think the main root that's like holding it up is that one root that I was showing you, and this other one here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some soil. No, I don't want to use that soil. I've got 3 different size soils now. So I'm going to use not the large soil, but the larger of the 2 small soils. Alright. I'm going to put a mound in the middle here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I don't always do the mound. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Alright, trying to find that one root so I can bring it out. Alright, because I want to kind of flatten the rest of these roots out so that they can be radial and going outwards from the tree. So that definitely helps with the way the tree grows. Alright, and since they're mostly flat, I'm not going to worry too much about getting soil in amongst all the roots because they're already going to have a good amount of soil in amongst the roots. I will definitely make sure that there's no air pockets and stuff like that, but what I'm doing now is flattening out all the roots so I can just put the soil on top of these roots, and obviously they have soil underneath of them, and then they're going to have soil on top of them, and they will be good to go. Take the rest of that off. Trying to think if I want to remove the one underneath here, or if I want to take the upper one off. I think I'm going to take the upper one off the rest of the way, all the way up here. Because that actually leaves this root still. Yeah, that looks much better. Alright, so now I need to flatten it back out. Kind of work it down into the soil a little bit. tree's actually really starting to look good. I just kind of wish that the branches would hold when you wire it. Maybe that's why I don't see a whole lot of people wiring these trees, because they just don't stay. Honestly, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of people working on these. I know that they're really common in the bonsai community. You just don't see a whole lot of people working on them on YouTube. I know that Nigel Saunders has at least one species. I'm not sure if he has this species or not, but he has the long leaf variety, the one with the white flowers, and he's got one that's super amazing. I actually got my Sissa because I watched his video, so I've had mine, if I can remember, like 6 years, 6 or 7 years. So I know he's had his quite a bit longer than that. So it's amazing. That's an amazing tree. I think he's got several of them now, but the one that I started watching him work on, he was making it look like an African acacia tree, and it looked amazing, like super amazing. I think that he maybe started doing something else with it, but I haven't seen him work on it recently. Alright, so this tree is going to be a little bit wiggly in this pot for a while, just because the roots, the way the roots are, they're like really sturdy, except for the ends, and they're like hair-like. So it's got some really interesting root structure to them. But that should hold, and it should do just fine with the way the soil is in here now. There's not really any air pockets. It's just that the roots are really firm and all that stuff. So this should be just fine here. I don't like that this root is poking out. I think I have a rock that I can put on here. I've got a ton of rocks. Which one do I want? It's this rock right here. I think that's heavy enough. Make sure it's got enough soil above it. No, it's not heavy enough. I could use this, but I think that's too big. No, that was too big. Let's see. Let's see what we got over here. This one's really cool. Check that one out. I really like that rock. Let's see if that one works. Where was it at? Right here? Right here. Yep. That looks like that's going to work. Let's see. Maybe this piece. That piece is really cool too. I really like this kind of rock. I'm not sure what kind of rock it is, but I don't want the rock touching the trunk of the tree, but I want it on there. Let's see, maybe one more. One more rock. I really like this rock too. It's the same kind of rock as this one, but this one, the crystals are just not as pronounced. Here we go. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's see. I think I might end up using this one anyway, on this side here. Just like that. Honestly, I kind of like this with the rocks on it. This one maybe not so much, but the other ones, it looks really cool. Alright, and I do like this rock. That one's really doing some work. I think I'm going to save this. Save it for later. But yeah, so I'm not going to rewire this. I'm going to let it grow a little bit and do some pruning as it's growing. Because I want to keep a lot of this branch structure, because this tree, it takes so long to get any kind of structure out of these branches. I don't want to just chop it back to make it work. But I kind of have to chop some of it back so that it's not like all up on top of itself. I really wish that I could get like this branch back over here. Back in this space, because I think it was over here. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait to do some wiring as the weather gets a little bit warmer. See if, while the tree is more actively growing, if it'll hold better. I'm going to cut back some of these branches that are actually really long here though. So I want to keep the ramification moderately compact like it is, because like I said, getting the branch structure is kind of tough on this particular species of Sissa. The one with the longer leaves, they're much easier to work with than this cultivar. Yeah, I think I am going to leave it, because if I keep going, I'm going to cut something off that I don't want to cut off. So yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm going to leave the moss off of it for now. I'll put the moss back on once it starts getting set in this pot, once I take the rocks off. Probably take them off in a couple of weeks, because it is warming up. So this tree is going to start growing pretty rapidly in the next couple of weeks, and it should put out some pretty good roots and be able to reestablish in the pot. So yeah. Wow, I am actually really tired. Can't even think if I want to say something else or not. Anyway, really appreciate you all watching. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. It's been amazing. This has been a pretty awesome journey. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And see you on the next one. So I'm gonna bring you guys down here. Give me a quick spin around of the tree. I'll put the screen up for you guys. So y'all can see the tree a little bit better. There we go. I really like this pot. It's a pretty cool pot. If you guys didn't know already, I do have an Amazon link in the description to an Amazon wishlist. And I don't know if this pot is on there, but I did get this pot on Amazon. So you guys can go and check out that link, and any shopping you guys do really helps me out. So